One. Welcome, everyone, to the Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Art Master, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today, we are taking a look at our next Imperial craft, the Cygnus Starwing Assault Gunboat.
Designed somewhat to resemble the Lambda-class shuttle, also produced by Sinar, this ship was designed specifically as a replacement for all the old fighters. Z-95s, ARC 170s, Y-Wings, you name it.
Yeah, this was the old... this was basically meant to keep the capabilities of some of those old craft, but with an Imperial aesthetic. And it certainly does that. It's got laser cannons, it's got ion cannons, it's got... In terms of arsenals, it's basically an Imperial B-Wing.
With the agility, to a point, of a Z-95 Headhunter.
Which is just shy of that of an X-Wing.
As far as I'm concerned, this should have been the standard issue command Imperial fighter. Used for Imperial aces and the like. Mostly because, well, it looks like a Lambda shuttle.
Yeah.
And Lambdas are commonly used by Imperial officers.
So this would make sense as an ace craft for Imperial squadron leaders.
Of course, we all know how that ended.
Yeah.
The Cygnus has one problem over the TIE. It is approximately twice as costly.
Yeah.
That said, these very, very capable craft are more than capable of making a mockery of any poorly piloted rebel craft, even X-Wings.
Yeah. And when it comes to assaulting capital ships or space stations or even ground installations, these things are about as capable as a TIE bomber.
In terms of ordnance, the bomber has a lot more punch. But the Starwing, the assault gunboat, is far more flexible. This is due to its armament. It's got 2 laser cannons mounted under the wings, an ion cannon mounted above the cockpit.
A twin ion cannon, which can fire in single fire mode too. And it has those 2 missile bays, which can use proton torpedoes or concussion missiles, or any other form of ordnance.
And all of these guns can be fire linked together, just like older World War II fighters. I should know, I've played TIE Fighter, and I've done it.
Yeah.
But
I've played TIE Fighter. I've played TIE Fighter in the past before too. It was fun.
Of course, this brings us to the problem of this craft. It's expensive. In fact, according to, well, the actual stats, this craft is twice as expensive as a TIE LN. And for a military that
is focusing on the quantity has a quality all its own approach, that just doesn't work.
This is a decent fighter.
Yeah, a very decent fighter. It just suffers from the problem of being too expensive for the Empire,
who value numbers over everything.
Yeah. That said, it does have its uses, and
it's It's equipped with a hyperdrive, decent shielding. When there is no TIE Scout available, and there often isn't,
This is very good as a scouting craft.
and an escort, and a bomber, and it's basically a do-it-all craft. Just not
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah. And then, of course, back to the TIE Fighter game, when an Imperial Admiral went rogue and Admiral Thrawn took up the chase, he needed to counter the Admiral's TIE Defenders, which we will get to in a later vid.
The missile boat is its own craft, while directly developed from the gunboat. It's not the same
not
thing,
quite.
so
Yeah. So it'll get its own vid, but just imagine this thing with with fixed wings and 2 extra missile pods.
and one laser cannon.
Yeah.
Anyway, stat time.
Yes, stat time. I've set the enter service date for narrative purposes at 10 BBY. I think that makes sense. This thing's been around a while.
Not exactly. According to information, this thing was developed right around 0 BBY.
0 BBY. Okay, I'll put that in there. Anyway, it's still got the same point baseline, but of 2250, a baseline equivalent. And we're counting this thing as a shuttle instead of a runabout or a pod. So this gives us 24 points to work with. Let's see. Let's see. So I've got comms 3, computers 3, and sensors 3, structure 3, engines 4, weapons 6. Okay, we can add 2 more points because that's 12. 4 threes, that's 12, 16, 22. We can put 2 more in here. Structure at 4.
Most like. This is a tough little boat.
And we'll put sensors at 4 too. Okay, that worked. That fit. That's enough points. That's 24 points. 2 threes, 3 fours, and a 6. Department wise, it has 1 point in con and 2 points in security. It has laser cannons, ion cannon, proton torpedoes, and concussion missiles, just like the B-Wing we just did last week, as of the time you're seeing this. And for talents, it has a rapid-fire projectile launcher. Special rules, it has hyperdrive and deflector screens. Derived stats, scale, resistance 1, shields 2, power 2. And descriptor traits, Imperial Bomber. Imperial
Fighter bomber. That is effectively what this is.
Fighter Bomber. So that is the assault gunboat. First really introduced in the TIE Fighter game.
Well,
and a decent
X-Wing.
Technically X-Wing as an enemy craft, but you could first fly it in TIE Fighter. And it is a decent craft.
It's just a shame that the Empire never realized, hey, we could go for a whole style thing here. Lambda shuttle, Sentinel lander.
So, yeah, they could have just gone the whole style approach with their fighter, with all their small craft based on the Lambda shuttle design. But
Yeah,
no,
instead we got the tie.
yeah. I heard once that the cockpit design of the tie was somehow based on a old Sith meditation spheres, so maybe that has a role to play in it.
Palpy.
Yeah.
Regardless. Bye bye.